All right, folks, TheKiest here. Not on a pori this time. I guess a review? I don't know. Maybe we'll call it reflections in the thing. So, for those who didn't see my Apori video, it'll be linked at the bottom of this. That is for. So, anyways, I'll start from the beginning. We ran an event called Tuesday Trials because we might be swapping from Donato's Tuesdays to become GA Campus Tuesdays and Donato's Wednesdays. And the idea is that GA Campus will have Smash plus compatible FGC games. So, for example, right now, Guilty Gear, they play both. Fantasy Strike's another one. Rivals could be another one. Everything not in the current weeklies, and that includes all fighting games and stuff. So, and then whatever scenes want to go into like Tuesdays and stuff. The main reason for this move though is because having Smash at GA gives Smash the ability to do more things that they want to do, because I purposely limit Smash on Donato's Tuesday so that there's move for the other FGC games, especially when Smash already has a great Ultimate Weekly at GA Hilliard called Smashland. Some argue that it's too big, but it's still a great thing for the scene. But the point is that we don't have like a Marvel Weekly or a Dragon Ball Fighters Weekly that people can go to. Not that they were going to go to them, but the point is that, you know, it's kind of like chicken and egg thing. If you don't have a place for people to play at, then you're not going to have people to play. So it's more of like a space thing. So we did the event on Tuesday, and I kind of got mixed reviews, but though most people thought it went okay enough, especially the newer crowd. A lot of people were kind of disappointed it did not hit the Donato's atmosphere, which I'll kind of go into as best I can. I'll kind of use this as like a notebook thing in case I think of anything I want to visualize what I'm talking about, in case people are skipping through the video or can't watch it or listen to it all at once. And then there's things about the venue people don't like either, and that's more what this is going to be about. Now, at Tuesday Trials, my team and I ran the event, but GA had nothing to do with how the event was actually executed. That's all on us. So if you want to see that, watch the Apori. That's going to be, again, linked in the description. This is going to be more strictly about the venue itself and how we can use it for FGC space, which they've done some events at, but these are going to be my thoughts and my concern based on myself and the others. And I'll talk a little bit about a survey to fill out once it's up, which I'll post this when this video goes live. The survey will be live as well, or should be live by then. So I'm going to go with the first thing, which is the most important thing, is the setup space. So this is optimized for a game lounge. And what I mean by that is, like, this is a spot where players can come in and relax like I am right now. And I'm not getting up much unless I'm using the bathroom or unless I'm getting food. So I'm probably getting up like maybe once every 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes two if I'm really hardcore. So that means you can have, for those who haven't been to Game Arena Campus, when you walk in from here, then you like go over to the side. There's like a candy booth thing where you can buy like energy drinks or get food orders and stuff. And then right below it is a line of 6 PCs where all the people at these PCs are then facing. Oh my gosh, I can't. This way. They're all facing this way towards like a big open space and stuff with their backs to the wall. And there's enough space behind that wall so that I can comfortably push backwards and stuff, like you just visually saw me there. So you have those 6 PCs, and then you have another row of, I think it's either 6 or 8. I'm going to assume 8 for this argument. You have then a row of 8 head-to-head, so 16 PCs total, with, like, again, 1 chair in between all of them. And then behind these, you have these 2 little alcove cubby areas. And the reason they kept them separate, I'm assuming, is because they imagined this place to be a loud bar lounge area. So they wanted to give some form of isolation to the 6 PCs in this cove and the 6 PCs in this cove, which I probably should just call them coves. I'm going to call them cubbies. I don't know what to call them. GA, you let me know. Come up with a cool name for it. Pods, memory card slot. I don't know. Point is that they're private, and it's great because, like, if I'm going to show up at 8 or 9 p.m. before the rush gets in, if there's a rush, I can just rent a PC in the back, and I can sit there and play StarCraft all day. And then when I get up, I just have to wait for like 2 people to casually move out of the way because they'll be able to, because they'll be playing like WoW or like their Fortnite match. They'll have a death timer, so they can like, oh yeah, sure. And they'll scoot in a little bit, and then they can get through and everything, and it's great. And then there's another cubby next to these 2 racers. The racers are great. I have nothing negative or positive to say about them. They're fantastic. That's outside the scope of this because I'm more talking from an FGC event thing. And then you have this cubby again in the back, which it's isolated, and it's right next to the bathrooms. So anyway, so it already has like the weird foot traffic of people, but they're not behind you. They're off to the side, off to this side. So it's like, I guess it depends what seat you're in, really. So I don't know why I'm changing directions. And then in the middle of the whole venue, so I described pretty much this half of the venue. You have the you have in the center soundproof booth room, which I'm not exactly sure why they put in the middle except for a stylish reason. It also creates these zones, which are kind of nice too, where you can have 5 versus 5, or sorry, 6 versus 6 setups against each other, or just like private rooms that, you know, are completely soundproof from the rest of the place. So again, if I want to pay more for like a VIP area, I could be there at 10 p.m. on a Saturday while everyone is out having drinks and stuff. This place is great for that. And then finally, next to our big thing off to this side, you have your bar. Yeah, you have your bar, and you have like a little waiting area while you're waiting to get seated, or you ordered food and you're just chilling and relaxing with your friends, and it's great. No outlets there, I should mention. That's actually kind of a problem with this place I'll get to in a minute. And then you go upstairs, and it's cool because in the upstairs you have kind of like this weird alcove thing that kind of oversees the whole place, although you can't really communicate from up there. It's got a big projector, so you can put on anything, like one of the games we're streaming at this tournament, and there's rooms behind all of it for about 4 to 5 sitting setups that people have to bring their own monitors for, but the space is there. And then it also has like a mini bar that people could eat off of. Technically, you could do setups there. You'd have to get straps for the monitors. I'll get to that in a minute as I'm talking about improvements when I'm describing the place for viewers and stuff. And then finally, when you're in the upstairs too, as you head down, there's this like couch TV area that's even more of a lounge area to like relax and eat food at, and either put a game up on that big TV or put like a stream of some sort, plus another mini bar so people can be served up there, completely upstairs without going through. And then you have like the staff room and all that stuff. So again, it's fantastic for what this place is meant to be, which is a spot on campus gateway where a lot of college kids are coming, and a lot of them are usually pre-drinking before, or they haven't drunk yet, and they come to this place and they want to, like, you know, maybe not necessarily play on the PCs, but like sit at the bar and watch whatever esports tournament's going on. Or maybe they want to sit at a PC and go like show off to one of their friends, like, hey, look what I'm playing or stuff. Or they start out at GA campus before like a movie or something. It's like, hey, let's knock an hour out of Fortnite, and then everyone sits at their PCs, and it's great into that stuff. Here's where it gets terrible for consoles. And that's what we're going to complain about first is, yeah, not optimized for console tournaments. So Donato's, I'm going to compare it a lot because I was told this spot is better than Donato's. I don't agree. I don't agree at all. I think they're equal. For different reasons. One has strengths, one doesn't. Donato's we can optimize for console tournaments. I can get 38 setups comfortably down there, and I'll explain how and why. So when you're in the cub, especially when you're in the cubby area, and the problem with this cubby area is that you've got 3 head-to-heads. So we'll just say 6 setups. There's no way there's enough space in there for each TV to be a full setup to get 12. It won't happen. It can't happen. Why? Because when you're PC gaming, you're usually pulled up almost as close as you can, but not all the way up, but close enough so that the chair is under the table. If you do that with someone next to you, then you can't get a good shot of the monitor, and the monitor is as far as back as it can, because again, it's a head-to-head, and there's another monitor behind it and stuff. Players, they have to lean back, and they're used to that, because also when you're console gaming at home, you're usually not that close because you don't have a keyboard, so you're going to be at like a distance that you're comfortable with based on how your TV setup is, because you're not always playing on your computer screen. You might be playing on like a TV in your living room, so you always are backed up and stuff. Currently, my room that I'm in right now, just to give you an idea, this is more space. This is about the same space as the cubbies in the game arena. So, like, if I'm back here, then I'm playing a tournament match. That means if I'm in the middle and the setup in the corner suddenly needs to get up because they're done, or it's empty and the player over here needs to wait for it to get through, they have to wait until I'm at a point where either the round's over or the game's over. But even then, you don't want that interruption at a tournament setting. So then I have to scoot up. And it's not just me. If you have two people back there, like I said, you can't really do on all the sides, but then you have to do that. This is exasperated by the fact that you have a cubby here and a cubby here, and then you have a long line of setups where the backs of those are actually they're hitting the cubbies. There are some players I was seeing that they were, back enough that they're almost hitting the table of those setups. So if a player has to move from the end cubby, they have to interrupt 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 games in order to get out. And that ain't good. GA Hilliard has a big console area where it's not as big of a problem. There's a lot more open flow space, and then the setups that are usually the most cramped, where the TOs don't like to put people on unless they have to, is on that row of PCs that I was talking about earlier. But at least with that, though, there's not walls, so they can like kind of balance out where setups are. Like, if there's 2 lines of PCs, you're not going to put a setup here and a setup here unless you're dumb and you messed up, which I'm sure G.A. Hilliard happened a few times. No offense to those guys. They know what they're doing. I'm not here to make fun of them. It's just natural mistakes, just like I made mistakes on Tuesday. So, you would alternate. So, like, set up here, and then set up here or something. But we don't have the room to do that because, again, it's a big wall that these cubbies are around. So, a solution to that, and I don't think you can do this unless I'm wrong, and that'd be awesome for a Tuesday thing, is, like, just move the wall. And, you lose this wall, but then you can have 3, you have 2, 2, and 2. I don't know how the wiring is. And then more importantly, when you have the cubby, the setup that's by the cubbies here, you then need to move it out. Now, it gives less walking room to the front of it, but that's not as bad of a thing. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's one of those that just has to go around. Kind of the biggest problem with this spot, in all honesty, is the big soundproof thing in the middle. It's cool stylishly, but Donato's had that with their bathrooms. And we almost got, I don't want to say double the setups, but we got a lot more comfortable once they moved it around and stuff. I actually don't like the move. I kind of wish that they made the soundproof area where the cubbies were, to be honest. I'm kind of confused why they did it. The style thing, they can't change it now. It's too late, and it'd be way too expensive to change it anyway, so I'm not going to go too much into that, COTL. If we can move short story short, need to move the PC tables, even just a little bit, just for the night. You move them back, because you need that air traffic flow. I kind of talked about it in my Apori. I guess the way you can kind of do it is like the cubbies could be your casual setups, maybe. The cubbies could be your longest variance setups, which that might not be a good idea either now that I'm thinking about it. Like you put your Smash games here, or you try to do like 2, 2, and then 2 on the end, but then you can't use space on the long row. It's like you can't even use the full tables just based on where they are located in the building itself, because then it's just impossible to actually leave. Donato's doesn't have that problem because it's a big open room. So if I'm putting, the only way I'm going to trap someone is if it's because I put the table in the middle. I can move the table. Or just not put or just learn to not put a table in that spot and put the table somewhere else, or just not use tables, period. I think on the perimeter, I'm going to do some math in my head here for Donato's. I'm not going to draw the map out. You guys know the venue just as well. So you do 4, 2, 4, So that's 10, 12, and then the bar. I'm not gonna use say there's a TO spot. We'll pretend the TOs are behind the bar this time. Usually Donato's Tuesdays we have the TOs outside the bar just for. I like sitting at the bar, so I just do it. Then you have the stream set up there, and then another 4. So now I'm at 17, and then 18 at that little nook that's by the bathrooms, and then the final wall you can get 4 more. So that's 22 setups that are just at the perimeter of the venue. Now, if we compare it to Game Arena, you have 6 with walls behind them, so the people in the middle can't leave. So people can't leave. So these guys aren't able to leave or really walk around easily. Again, it's the console way. Some might argue like, oh, well, you shouldn't sit this far back then. That's ridiculous. That's crap. I'm sorry. That's crap. That's not how it works. PC, especially when it's again a console, a tournament is supposed to be at your most comfort zone, and if you can't provide that comfort, then what are you doing? Actually, in fact, in that area, I almost wish we could switch the monitors away from the walls. That might be better. Now that I think about it, that might actually be okay to do. So you have your, candy zone here, then the strip, and instead of having people sit at the wall, you instead rotate the monitors so people are sitting here instead. I think that'd be significantly better. And then you have that backflow for like TO or staff to walk through without interrupting stuff too. Or just move that table back to the wall. Again, we can move the tables. And then that log PC wall, again, it's like... So anyways, that's 6 setups. And then you have... then this other one with the 18 PCs, you can't use all 18 monitors because of the foot traffic behind them. If you use all 18, then that means no one can get to the cubbies, period. Because, again, of the chair stuff. So we're going to say there's 6 setups there. That's how much we had for Tuesday trials for it to be okay. I think maybe you could do it so that... And again, the PCs are also, like, right next to each other because, again, it's built for a lounge for individuals. So, like, in order for 2 people to be here, it means the setup in the middle can't be used, so you have to do every other. So it is 6 now that I think about it. So you have 3 in the front, and if you have 3 at the front, that means you have 3 in the back. When you have 3 in the back, that means people can't go in the cubbies. So, again, 6 setups there, 6 setups there is 12. And then each cubby can have 3 max. And there's 3 cubbies. So 12 and 9 is 21. And then the upstairs can only have 5, which is 26. 27 if you count that big couch area, which maybe we can optimize that too. But as Game Arena is now, as of making this video, I can only get 27 setups. At Donato's, I was able to get 35 in just the perimeter alone without even using the island table setups. And the island table setups, I think I could get 12 more. And that's important because I want people to be encouraged and used to and trained to bring their setups every week, even if they only need to bring their console. And that's because that habit carries over to every event they go to. And that makes the whole scene grow as a whole. You want to encourage people to bring their gear. But if I bring my gear after parking on 9th, we'll get to parking in a minute. I'll just put this here to remind myself. If I park at 9th and I have to carry a monitor and a console, I'm using a monitor in this example because we do have an upper area for where we need monitors, because unless GA has enough for all those 5, which they might, I don't remember offhand, apologies if they do. We'll just pretend it's just the console too. They show up and there's not a space for them to even like put it where it's going to be used, then they feel I didn't need to bring it. So then next week they don't bring it, but 6 other guys feel the same way, and then they don't bring it, and then the guys who brought their setups, they can't make it for some reason. Or they also heard like, oh, we had too many setups, so I don't need to bring mine either, and then suddenly you have no setups. Donato's, anytime someone brings a setup, we make room for it. I sacrifice TO space so that they can make room for it. I sacrifice streamer space to make room for it. We rarely get 31 setups at Donato's, but we normally get around 20 at... We normally get more than 20, at least with the whole GA thing, and especially if people are going to bring more consoles than before because of the monitors and stuff. So we need to figure out a way. That PC area, again, it's great for the lounge environment. It's great for that isolating the individuals so they're protected from the bar scene that also wants to be at this place because it's awesome. Terrible for console gaming, I think. We need to figure out something. Maybe it's easier. Maybe you already have a solution, GA, but that's my take on it. Is I still want to do events there, and I still think it'd be solvable for the Tuesday trials, but it's definitely a major problem with the venue. And then on top of it, it has a lot more open space at the front entrances, no outlets. So they have like a nice booth thing with a table, and there's no outlets, so I can't even put setups on those like booth cushions. I don't know if it'd be stable enough to, but you just get like a board or something. It's fine. You'd be able to do it, or at least, or do it the old school way. You just have chairs or a little table. So I can't even set up a table for the setups because there's, again, no outlet. The TO desk has an outlet. That's not. There wasn't even a slot at the reg desk. I had to like do it for the wall. Reg desk, there was an outlet, to be fair, but I didn't want to use it. It was being used by all the equipment and the chargers that the staff was using. I don't want to use that. There's a waiting area when you come inside off to the left, right before the bar. Again, no outlets there. I don't know what the intent of that is. I don't know if it's a fire hazard thing. I don't know if the intent is like they want to have zones where there are not electronics, so that people don't like just charge their phones or something. Even on the upstairs, when you go up the stairs and you face forward, you have like the 5 setups off to the side here, and then you have this nice corner, and again, no outlets, so you can't put anything there. Maybe you could with like an extension cord or something, which, you know, we could do that too, but it's again built for people sitting and stuff. So I think those need addressed somehow. Hopefully the power cords, hopefully those tables are all powered through, but they'd have to be powered through the floor. I was going to say, one of the beautiful things about the renovation at Donato's that allows the island setups or the table setups to be used is that the Raptors are now opened, so that I can actually take an extension cord that's actually near the ceiling already for the TVs, and I can wrap it through the Raptors, and it's a clean area, because it's just the top of the ceiling. It just has like the bars and like the wood design to like make it look good, but I can still fit cords through there and then dangle the extension down and put in a surge protector or two and suddenly have 10 more setups and an open space. Whether you can do that at GA campus, I don't know, but it's something that needs to be looked at if we want to be serious about this stuff. At the same time, or we tailor to the event and go, all right, there's 21 setups we can use semi-comfortably. What games do we run? What time do we run? And what format do we run it in? We can solve that problem. For Smash, you could do pools. You can do it in waves. You can even schedule those waves out. Make it so that one wave is playing in that area, and they have to just keep the cubbies for casuals. And then once that wave is done, you do wave 2. Wave 2 starts at like 8 instead of 7. Some people don't like that, but again, it's what you have to do for the venue if you want to be comfortable. So you have to either trade player convenience when it comes to speed versus player convenience when it comes to comfort on the setups. That's all something the scene can answer, not necessarily GA thing, but the point is like, again, this video is more talking about the venue itself and what's good and what's not about it. Parking, I'm not going to get too much into, just that parking is about the same as Donato's in my opinion. Some argue for different reasons why it's not. I'll give my personal opinions. Donato's does not have a parking garage, but the parking garage is expensive. Donato's has meters, GA has meters, but you can either pay money to get a guaranteed spot you're not going to get code at a game earlier campus, or you can risk street parking just like at Donato's, and it's about the same distance. You either park at 9th or you park at Summit and 4th. I usually do Summit myself. Indianola has spots that are 3-hour limit, but they become free after 10. So if you show up after 7 and park at the 3-hour limit spots, you are set for the night. And again, it's like 2 blocks away. So yeah, it's kind of like pick your own battles there. Whether you want to do meters and have to go out frequently, which is worse than paying at a GA garage or at the Gateway garage, or the street parking is exactly the same risks, I think. Some might argue it's worse because you're downtown campus, but this is on Tuesday night, so I'm going to ignore it for that regards. Plus, I've parked plenty of times during busy nights, and I've had no problems myself. Not that everyone hasn't, but I'm just saying parking's the same, in my opinion. Just better for some reasons and better for others. It just comes down to how much you want to pay. I think, realistically, people might see the parking garage as a deterrent, because if I'm paying, I don't know how much the garage is, let's say it's $15 a night. If I'm going once a week, that means that $60 a month on just parking alone, and plus the food, because you want us to order food there, because that's their venue fee, plus tournament fee. Tournament fee is like $2, so I'll just round that up to like $10 a month for tournament fees. And not every tournament has a fee to begin with. So, you know, that's spending almost $100 a month. Donato's people spend about 50 a month. But some people spend more than 50 a month because they get ticketed. So I guess there's that risk there. I've been ticketed once because I forgot my meter at one time. But other than that, I read the signs well enough. I don't know why some people get confused with signs. I almost want to make a separate video on like how to park, to be honest. But at the same time, I also know some people that have got screwed over from parking correctly, but then someone else screwed them. They got the ticket anyway. I don't know. I'd have to see those situations. Point is, I don't think, and this is all stuff they can't do. Game Arena can't just this video is not just for GA, but it's for other people that are at GA wondering what they can and can't do. Some of the stuff I've been told I can tell publicly and stuff. GA can't do validations on parking. They can't even do validations for their own staff, for crying out loud. Pretty much, long story short, parking garages are owned by corps, and certain corps have monopolies in certain locations, thus they dictate the prices and who can do what, even the businesses and stuff. If you're wondering, well, I get validation at the Gateway Theater. Gateway Theater is technically a nonprofit org, so they're able to like do loopholes for that. GA is definitely a business trying to make money since they're a restaurant and stuff. So none of the restaurants at GA you can get validation on parking. If they can somehow, it means GA campus has missed a step and they can look into it. That's on them. But the point is they can't do validations on parking. I've thought about maybe finding out the cost of doing validations on parking and see if us as the scene can pay that ahead of time by doing fundraiser events. As in, like, I run a tournament where I keep the venue instead of donating it to the church, for example, or I run one at Donato's and I charge a venue fee just to give people incentives to donate or something. I don't know. There's ways one might be able to do it, but again, this went longer than I thought. Same as Donato's as far as parking goes. All right, important thing. We're going to talk about the foods and drinks. We'll start with the drinks. I thought the drink specials were fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about this. Awesome. I like the custom drinks. I like that they were bargain cheap for the most part. They were strong, too. It was that deadly strong of, like, this doesn't taste like an alcoholic beverage, and I know it is, and I can't have 3 more of these like the drink wants me to have. I don't know if they're going to keep those for the Tuesdays or rotate them. I hope they do. I think that was like the one thing I'm pretty sure everyone at the venue 100% was on board for, was those drink specials. Especially the theme. There was a Hadoken and there was a Dragon Shift. Add some other ones in based on other games or something, but fabulous. So they tasted, both were great. Yeah, no complaints there and stuff. The other drinks, they're priced at gateway prices. I'll kind of get a little more on my thoughts on that in a minute, but you know, it's one of those, if you're going there and not buying a special, you're essentially already know, it's like a sunk cost thing. You're like, I'm going to buy a beer. I don't care how much it is because I want a beer at this moment, which is good for the lounge environment. I have nothing to complain about that. What people have to realize is that Donato's can make cheaper specials. A, because Donato's is a larger corporation than GA, it's the grand scheme of these things. B, it's not the primary source of income. This place, it's pretty much this primary source of income is going to be their drinks and kitchen, not as much as the LAN center when it is the PC step. Game Arena can correct me if I'm wrong. Speculation on my part. And then plus Donato's has been an established, organization for 50 years. I don't even remember when they got founded. That's the point. I'm 35. They were around when I was born. So it's the same with their bars and stuff. They know their clientele. This is a brand new location. And I'm going to even mention this before I continue with the food stuff. Is that when you have a new location, you have to set prices based on your competitors in the area. But you'll set stuff based on your clientele once you actually have an audience and you can, dictate it and all that stuff. But when you're opening, you don't have that yet. So, you just have to guess. Gateway is just more expensive than Donato's. That's just the truth of it. That location has premier prices, so that's what their drinks are priced at, is premier stuff. Whether they can do specials during the week, that's on them. And it also depends on you guys with how much you guys are spending and willing to spend and all that stuff. So, I'll just mention specials for other... And they have a happy hour. Maybe we could extend the happy hour to, 8. I don't know. Gonna get to food. So... I'm going to talk about the quality of the food first before I talk about the pricing of the food and the menu availability itself. So my favorite thing was the was I thought the grilled cheese, and you get a patty. They should call it the Keister burger. I don't know. That'd be cool. Don't name a food after me, or if you do, make it a burger. Uh, that's my favorite thing. It's $11 for it. It's expensive, but it tastes really good. Actually, you get a big bowl of marinara sauce to dip it in, and a large plate of fries around it, medium-sized plate of fries around it. Yeah, it tastes great. Pizza special was fantastic. I think that was the most selling one from what they were telling me at the end of the night, which was pretty much they got $6 for a personal pizza, which is about roughly it's bigger than Donato's individual size, so it is more expensive than the individual size, but it is still smaller than a small, and I think a small is like $8. So I thought it was fairly priced for that stuff. And again, they only had pepperoni and cheese and stuff, but again, remember this is like mostly a bar food specialty place. And like I'm going back to before, things can change. Their menus can expand as pizza gets more popular. Then they start adding more toppings to pizza. But, it's a brand new spot, so they're just kind of throwing what sticks. With some research. They're not literally throwing what sticks. There's effort in this, folks. Trust me on this, all right? I even had some people come in from, I was at Tension Shift, Guilty Gear and Street Fighter tournament, and some of the out-of-towners were saying that I got the patty with grilled cheese thing, and a lot of people were getting that and stuff. Which is on the menu because grilled cheese is under the burgers, and it says, hey, add a patty for $2 or something. So that was really good. Fries are amazing. I had the pizza. When I talked to other people about the food they ordered, they thought it tasted good. So yeah, taste I think is on point here. It's good, and the ingredients and stuff. A little bit's going to get into more I'm talking about when it comes to the food and prices thing. So here's the thing about the gaming scene is that these are, again, this goes back to the clientele, and this is also doing a private event and comparing with Donato's. Donato's, I could get just a basic cheese pizza or just get a basic thing of wings. And if I like that, that's all I'm going to eat, okay? I'm not gonna get the specialty pizza. Now, I'm using pizza as an example here because you can't get burgers and stuff. But the point is, like, a lot of these guys are not getting like the sub. These are guys that they're on either college diets of eating crap like Hot Pockets and stuff because they just haven't expanded their tastes yet. They're not going to at these Tuesday stuff, nor should they be expected to, I think. If they come on a Friday, that's different. This is like, again, comparing Donato's Tuesday comparing with GA Tuesday, okay? So the thing I felt as I got a complaint with a lot of this stuff was it's kind of like you go to a burger joint and the only burger you can get is a Big Mac, but you only have $5 on you, and you don't like half the ingredients that go into a Big Mac. I don't like pickles, I don't like mustard, and I don't like their special sauce. Those are like 3 of the main ingredients of the Big Mac. I also am not a big fan of onions on burgers if they're uncooked, which is another ingredient on there. So it's like I'm already removing 3 ingredients, which isn't the core ingredients of a Big Mac, but it's enough that I don't feel comfortable paying the full $8 for it for the meal. But luckily at McDonald's, there's the dollar menu, or there's like just a normal burger that's priced and shown that way. And again, if GA can dock prices if they're removing ingredients, that's cool. It's not clear on the menu, and most restaurants will not do that. Okay, so I think it's understandable for people to not think that and stuff. Or I'll even use the Melt because again, I talked about grilled cheese. The Melt is a restaurant. It's a grilled cheese restaurant for those who haven't been there. There's one on campus. There's one in Easton. They're both amazing. It originally started up in Cleveland. Go up there if you want to see the original. There's plenty of places everywhere. Point is that there I could get a sandwich called the Wake and Bacon, which is grilled cheese, egg, whatever cheese I want, whatever breakfast meat I want. I can put bacon or sausage or ham on it. It's really good. There's another sandwich that I can't stand that's like an Asian Korean barbecue thing, and it's got like I don't even remember what's all on that one because I don't even like it. That's my point. The first sandwich I ever got at this place was just a grilled cheese sandwich called the Kindergarten. It was just grilled cheese sandwich, just bread and cheese, and that was it. That's all I got, and that's all someone could get too. and it's like half the price of one of the specialty sandwiches at the time. So I think for the food here, as far as pricing goes, the pricing, again, it's respectable to the clientele of Gateway if you're going there on like a normal day. But again, this event is trying to hit the clientele of gamers who want to come and just like play games, and then they want to eat to help support the venue by like eating stuff that they actually like eating. Otherwise, they're gonna like eat before they come and stuff. But again, Donato's, I can just get a cheese pizza, I can just get a plain sub, I can just get a pepperoni calzone. Here, I can't just get a normal burger. If you can, it's not obvious, and if you do, you're paying full price for the ingredients and stuff as normal restaurant practices do. So I feel like it's too expensive for that crowd, and the way you do that is you just do the other, food specials. And I believe the owner has told me they want to do this. Again, if you're watching this video as a participant, please be vocal in the survey that you want something like this and how much you pay for it. I'll even add those questions in there. So, do a food special, do like a $5 deal. And the portions don't even have to be that big for a $5 deal. Like if you go to Wendy's and you compare the size of a Baconator with the burger you get in the 5 for $5, it's like a bite-sized burger essentially when you stack them up against each other. But people still get the 5 for $5 because it's just that bundle and stuff. More doesn't always mean better. And some people are picky eaters, but those picky eaters are your clientele for Tuesdays. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, is you kind of need something for that crowd. For those who also don't know, they will be doing boneless. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce that, but I'm going to. That's something that it hits that crowd too. It's like, I just want something simple. Get the wings. Okay, done. I order fries too, or maybe do a bundle with that too. But get some food specials that are just simpler stuff. Just a normal burger, cheese, bun, done. Maybe your lettuce and tomato, because I don't usually restaurants want to get rid of that because it'll go bad if you don't use them. So I don't know. But point is that you get like just a normal burger, get just like a normal grilled cheese, and it were cool on that end. Pizza, you already got the normal pepperoni and cheese and stuff. It'd be like you had their pizza special. It's like, but you can only get like, you can only get like mushroom and onion as your toppings or something. It'd be so weird. That's probably still a bad example because pizza is just weird like that. So, so again, long story short, quality I liked. Prices are not great. Donato's isn't cheap either. I'll mention that part now too. But at least Donato's is in a form of, I can buy a large pizza and take half of it home, so I don't have to do it all in one sitting. So I'm essentially buying 2 meals for the price of a large. And you can't really do that here, even though I'm sure GA could do it to go, but it's a lot more complicated. And the food's not going to reheat as well, let's be honest here. Sandwiches just don't reheat as well compared to like pizza and stuff. So yeah, that ends my thought on food. I'm trying to think what's left. I think all the major problems I had was done. I guess, the stream setup. So streaming setup. So I mentioned in the other video that like commentators didn't like being in the same area, blah, blah, blah. We're going to ignore that because again, that's how we use the space, not how GA can use the space. And GA also informed me, for those watching, that they could do, so for those who don't know, there's the big booths in the middle and they are soundproof 6-on-6, but the idea is that we could do commentators on one end and players on the other, or commentators and the streamers on one end and commentators on the other. The other thing too is that there's the production area of, you have the spot, and then up here is actually a commentator booth. It's just an isolated closet essentially for 2 commentators, and they actually can like watch the screen out there. And then upstairs is a production booth, and anyone who knows how to use OBS can bring their OBS files and run the stream from upstairs. Commentators are in the booth, and then the players are wherever they want to be in those rooms and stuff. So I don't know if they can do 2 streams that way, probably not with the commentators, but they can figure out something with it at least. Point is that streaming, as the stream we did on Tuesday Trials, is not permanent. There's ways around it. The bigger problem is the heat. Those rooms were not heated. They just don't get any of the air conditioning, it felt like. Those rooms got really hot. The commentator booths, I heard this from Tension Shift, those rooms get extremely even hotter than the other ones. You're in a soundproof room, and there's lots of computer fans running, and it's just let's face it, we're all big egos. Lots of hot air coming out of us gamers and stuff, so it's kind of funny on their end. It's not a problem at GA Hilliard because the space of the soundproof area is just massive, and then the commentator area is not an isolated, contained room. It's got, like, airflow and stuff. This is so I'm just going to say airflow issue. I will say this this is more for the people watching, not for GA. GA does have short-term answers. They've got, like, these cooling towers you can get. Just shove those in there, and that's probably good enough. And they're working with the for long-term solutions too. So, it's a thing I'm going to mention just because it is a problem. It needs addressed. Luckily, it's a solvable problem. I think it's much easier to solve. I think the short-term answer is probably going to be helpful a ton. I mean, a ton. So that's on that end. I think that kind of covers it. The only thing I also don't like is there isn't really a good TO area. So in my opinion, a good TO area is a spot where you can see everything in the venue and kind of, like, get to a spot really quickly. Maybe I could in the upstairs, but then you gotta go downstairs. Or maybe you do it in the, like, section by that big TV. But even then, it's not, like, set up to do, like, a desk, and then you no longer get the arcade. So, I don't know. Maybe the racers, but those are in the way, too. And you can't really move them unless you can move them. But even then you reduce then you reduce foot traffic to the setups. Maybe I'm more thinking the old school way, and maybe you have to do things the more modern way where each TO just has their own iPad, and there is no longer, like, a reg desk area. Reg desk areas just makes it easier for convenience, and it lets me train for the larger monthlies. But maybe the larger monthlies need to be going in the way of the mobile form and stuff. Lack of TO area that's convenient but usable. PA system / loudspeaker / megaphone, maybe? Or TO... Actually, this was an idea I kind of had just now. Use one of the screens somehow to be a... oh, geez. A Chromecast of some sort. So TOs can, like, put in... The reason I say a Chromecast is so that... of some sort, something so you can do announcements on. So, like, a screen's up, and it's not just the bracket, because there's multiple brackets with Donatos, but just, like, an announcement thing of some sort. If I'm looking for a player, say I'm looking for Carinal, I can go, like, hey, I need someone to put an announcement out for Carinal. Then suddenly, like, a monitor in each area has Carinal is needed at the TO desk. And then someone's going to read that announcement and hopefully tell Carinal, and Carinal's going to see it. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a cool idea. Maybe there's something that could be done. Since they have so many TVs and monitors and stuff. So I think this kind of covers it. This was about a 45-minute video, which is about as long as I thought it took. So I get to the final point, and hopefully this is up by the time this video is uploaded. Actually, I'm not going to even make this live until the survey's done. So I'm just going to write the timestamps down for my sake. 1531 survey. So for those who go into Tuesday trials, I'm going to make a survey. And the survey, I'm going to have do like the whole you have to log in with Google crap. Because actually, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to have it so that you have to enter your Smash GG name as a required field. And I'm only going to take admissions from people who are actually at Tuesday. So, Tuesday people only. And I am going to send the responses to GA anomalously. Yeah, that's not spelled right. You know what? If you know what word I meant, then it was spelled right. So I'll know who did the responses because I'll cross-reference the Smash GG user with who was actually at the event that day. Because I don't want people who weren't there to make up crap. Spectators, I'll know if you were there or not, even if you weren't in the page. And then when I send the responses to GA, I'll remove all the tags. So it's just a list of responses. please be brutally honest, okay? Don't potty mouth. I mean, come on. Just because you say something fucking sucks instead of something sucked, you're not gonna get the respect, folks. Maybe you do out loud to like some kid, but not to us. So you don't need to. If you're swearing to show your anger, you don't need to do that in text and stuff. You can just emotionally say, I was just angry, upset about this. It's fine. But be upset about stuff. I thought I thought the food was too expensive. I thought the food was too complicated. I didn't like how the setups were too close. Just keep in mind when you're doing this stuff is keep feedback to venue facilities, not event itself. Because again, things like doing pools is something we can fix as the runners. That had nothing to do with GA. Things like the drinks are too expensive, or there wasn't a good spot, or the commentator room was too hot. That is stuff. Actually, that's even a better comparison. So, the fact that the commentators, the streamer, and the players were all in one room, that's on my team. The fact that the streaming room was too hot, or there wasn't enough room, or the monitors felt like they were lagging, that's something GA can do. Please give that kind of feedback. Which I heard some people claim monitors were lagging. GA told me monitors are fine. Placebo frames, I don't know. But again, the feedback stuff. It's supposed to be the same gear that's in Hilliard or similar, but, that's where you're going to put this stuff in. So please do the survey. Survey closes at, it's this Wednesday. Let's just say Sunday. The 1st. Then anything that's in that survey, I'll send the GA staff. Again, anonymously. I'm not going to include tags. Just the answers. So they have the list of answers and stuff. For those who don't know how a lot of surveys work online, as far as the cheap one goes, you just do a Google survey, and all it does is just sends the answers to a Google Doc. One of the columns will be the usernames. I'll just delete that column, send the responses over to GA. That's all I'll do. Or I'll just copy and paste the responses and something and send that over to GA. And then obviously the Excel doc only I'll be able to see, and maybe one of my advisors, because I don't do things alone, for those who know. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Overall, I like the venue. It's not better than Donato's. I'm just going to say that now. I was told it was going to be better than Donato's. It is not. And Donato's is good and has its flaws, and GA Campus is good and has its flaws. And Donato's I'm more familiar with, so I am a little biased as far as that goes, but as far as functionality and how the space is, it's not set up for us. If it can be, awesome. I don't know how you guys can unless you do drastic changes, though. If you're able to do that easily on a week-to-week basis, awesome. If you're not, we'll work around it. There's other ways we can use the venue. We'll still run great stuff there. It just won't be the same as Donato's. And that's something to finally conclude with, is that people have to remember Donato's was not built in a day. For those who weren't at Donato's we got in 2012. It took me about 2 to 3 years to figure out the formula that you guys are used to now, or most of you are used to. Some Smash 4 veterans like Caradol will tell you the dark days. I recommend he gives Twitter posts on those dark days so people have an idea of what it took. You guys also remember that you all complained about GA Hilliard at one point. Also being too expensive. But now it's not. So just keep at it. GA, they love us. They want to do what's best for the scene. And they're even willing to take some sacrifices because they know what's best for the scene is ultimately going to be best for them too. It takes time. Give this venue a chance. It's going to be fantastic. And again, also to remember is that, like, as far as, like, the Smash atmosphere goes, it's like, if GA Hilliard is too claustrophobic for you, and you always like Donato's being that escape, GA Campus can still do that. You have to be vocal what you want to the TOs, especially Mindset, since he'll be doing Smash mostly, and whoever he trains, like Ario and so on. You can we can cater what those events are. You can do things like cap it down to 32. We can do things like make it an Arcadian. We can do things where you do maybe a Smash Summits. You do things like doubles. You do things like Squad Strike. You do things that can complement the Thursday event, which is what Donatus is doing now. But the sad truth in my regard is I want Smash Ultimate at this new location so that I can free up space at Donato's for 4 more games that don't have scenes. I think Smash Ultimate should have 2 weeklies. I think other scenes deserve to have at least a bi-weekly, and they don't have anything now. So, I think, yeah. Based on the survey, will dictate when we do the split. I'm really thinking we're going to do it, though, because it is too good of an opportunity to pass up. But those are my thoughts on GA as a venue as a whole. So this is reflection for those who are curious on my thoughts, and mostly for GA. So please comment. If you don't want to be unanimous, you can always comment in this video. GA will read it, or someone from GA will read it. But also complete the survey, which will be linked in the description as well when this video goes live. So until next time, folks, and catch you later.